Lucy Laney Memorial Stadium, where each January the best high school seniors from our part of Georgia and South Carolina clash. From Millen to McCormick, Sandersville to Sally, and all parts in between, they come to battle for the paddle. This year, COVID concerns will keep them off the field, but tonight they will have their night. This is the Border Bowl VIII Special.
The Border Bowl VIII Special is brought to you by McDonald's and Johansson Sporting Goods.
And a hello again to you, everybody. I'm John Hart. My broadcast partner, Ashley Brown, will join us here in a moment. Normally on the night before Border Bowl, both teams would be gathered together for our annual Border Bowl banquet. In fact, as recently as a week ago, we still hoped this game could happen, but after the most recent consultation with medical experts, the decision was made not to go forward with the game itself. But AB, my socially distanced partner, the teams had already been selected, and so tonight we're going to honor the 84 players who were earned their way onto Team Georgia and Team South Carolina. And that may be a positive because in a normal year, you and I do a 3-hour broadcast. We might not get to mention every player. Tonight, we will.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. There have been times during the game where I just said, late in the game, I was like, wow, we haven't even been able to call his name. And you want to recognize all these players. They earn their right to be here. So tonight, obviously, we'd prefer to be playing the game tomorrow. But tonight, we will recognize all these players, let the fans see them and hear about their accomplishments. I think it's great that we're able to do this. And hopefully the players and the families and the coaches, get to watch and appreciate it.
And we're going to start with the four-time defending champions Team South Carolina. The quarterbacks led by South Aiken's E.J. Hickson threw for more than 1,000 yards for the T-Breads this year, AB.
Yeah, Hickson last year threw for over 2,000. This year he threw for over 1,000 in 6 games. He was, and he also led a turnaround for South Aiken. They were 2-9 last year, improved to 4-2 this year in just that 6-game schedule. The
rest of the quarterbacks, Genevas Williams of Batesburg, Leesville, and Javier Rudolph from Williston Elko round out the Team South. We have the Team South Carolina quarterbacks there, AB.
Absolutely, and Javier Rudolph had some great players to throw to. We'll be talking about later. And Williams at Batesburg Leesville, just a phenomenal athlete for sure.
All right, now the running backs. You saw Marvin Gant there from Batesburg Leesville, C.J. Ransom from Barnwell, and I know you've been high on Jacob Walker from Augusta Christian all year long.
What an all-around player. Over 900 yards rushing and 12 touchdowns, 771 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, 2 kickoff return touchdowns. Per time he touched the ball, I don't know that anybody in the area had a better yard per touch average than Jacob Walker.
Now let's take a look at the guys who would be blocking for them tomorrow.
Yeah, if you look at that offensive line, and a few names stand out. DeLauder has been a staple there at North Augusta, no question about it. Nigel Brown at Wagner Sally has led, that offense has been phenomenal over the years. And also those 2 big guys at Allendale Fairfax, Taryn Bradham is probably the name everybody knows, but Kendrick Simmons was a great player on the other side of the line for him.
At the bottom of your screen there, you see the kicker, Ethan Yeomans from South Aiken, perfect on PATs this year, 15 touchbacks. Now the wide receivers, we start with Grayson Bridgers from North Augusta. He was the go-to guy for that Yellow Jacket offense this season.
Super steady, over 40 catches, over 600 yards and 6 touchdowns. When Austin Harrell needed a catch, needed a first down, that's the guy he went to, was Grayson Bridgers.
Adrian Chandler from Williston Elko. A couple of weeks ago, we were on National Signing Day, inked with Howard, D1, 522 yards and 11 touchdowns this season for Adrian Chandler.
Chandler is, a special athlete. We were talking about, the quarterback earlier, Javier, who he had to throw to. Chandler was his main guy. And if you look at the other receivers, the one I love and maybe the most underrated athlete in the area is Jonathan Burns at South Aiken, 6'4", and a big-time leaper. If you see him play basketball and watch his highlights, he can throw it down just about any way he wants to.
The rest of those receivers there. Isaiah Washington at tight end, they're better known for his defense, where he had 92 tackles, 17 for loss, 8 sacks at linebacker this year. And Rashad McMillan of Aiken, who had 5 touchdowns on offense, 3 sacks on defense. Speaking of defense, here comes that South Carolina D, and we begin with the defensive line and Elijah Davis from Wagner Sally, AB.
He's probably the player I was looking forward to seeing most that we didn't get a chance to see on Game Night Live. Big-time recruit, 3-star. He's been offered by Kansas, South Carolina, West Virginia, 75 tackles, 15 tackles for loss. Team Georgia would have certainly had to implement a game plan to stop him if they were going to win that battle to the paddle.
B.J. Williams from Strom Thurmond is next. We were there just before Christmas when he signed to play with Wake Forest. The 19th ranked recruit in the state of South Carolina, but more impressively, a 4.3 grade point average.
Yeah, phenomenal player, really on both sides of the ball.
I'm just excited, ready to get to work. Just really a blessing, and I'm honored to be a part of Wake Forest program. Football, I learned along the line, football is everything. So having a good degree and a good academics really helps in college or in life. So I'm just blessed to be able to go to a school like this and get a high quality education.
And they lead a talented group up front there, Ashley.
Jabez Oliphant's another one at South Aiken. Talk about recruits. A lot of schools like him. Jeremiah Martin at McCormick played for a small school, but really did a number this year on opposing offensive lines. That whole group would have been tough for Team Georgia to deal with.
Now the linebackers, led by Adonis Davis from Blythefield Hill. Boy, I really enjoyed watching his huddle last night.
Yeah, some people say, hey, he's a linebacker playing quarterback. He's literally a linebacker playing quarterback in high school. The scouts like him at linebacker, but and he's being recruited. You know, he's getting looks from big schools like Clemson and South Carolina, Middle Tennessee State, Coastal. Just a phenomenal all-around player.
And the future is bright at Silver Bluff, too. The future is, but they have 2 senior linebackers on our squad this year.
Silver Bluff always seems to have those undersized, quick, speedy linebackers. Certainly Quentin Walker and Aubrey Newton fall into that category without a doubt. And Taj Boyd at North Augusta, another talented one as well.
And the Team South Carolina defensive backs led by A.J. Swedenberg. These small schools, of course, a lot of these guys go both ways. 37 wins during his time with the War Eagles.
Well, Swedenberg is like a Swiss Army knife. He can do anything. 7 touchdowns rushing, averaged 28 yards of reception, 5 for 5 passing, a kick return TD, a punt return TD. Just a special player the last couple of years, A.J. Swedenberg.
And the rest now of those Team South Carolina defensive backs.
Yeah, Matthew Baskett and Jordan Wilburn from North Augusta. Wilburn more known maybe as a receiver, but a talented player in that big wingspan at 6'3", 180. And Terrence Vandiver, so happy for him. I've known his dad for a long time, former Evans standout. He got a college offer actually recently in the last couple days at Augusta Christian. He was a great two-way player also.
All right, Team South Carolina in the books, Team Georgia coming up. But first, Game Night Live and Border Bowl tradition is the Stump AB trivia question. The Savannah River is the border referred to in Border Bowl. Within 50 miles, how long is the Savannah River? Think about it. The answer when our Border Bowl 8 special continues.